What is something you have always regretted doing?
Getting into debt. I can't see a way out, sad face. Edit. Wow, thank you for the love, Reddit. Just put little one to bed and fell asleep for a few hours and woke up to 200 plus notifications. I'll try to read 'em all. Edit 2. Appreciate all the advice so much. I've joined RYNAB and R Personal Finance. Due to my job, I am unable to look at solutions like bankruptcy and an EVA. I will look at the other options suggested though. Thank you very much for reaching out to point me in the right direction.
When my parents split up, my mom had to raise us by herself and we were really poor. Eventually we had to get on food stamps to survive. My mom was devastated. She was a very proud woman and was working 2 jobs, but it wasn't enough and it absolutely crushed her to have to get assistance. It made her feel like a failure who couldn't take care of her own kids. I remember we were in the grocery store and getting ready to pay. She was going to use food stamps to pay and she was so ashamed that she turned to me and said, "If you don't want to stand in line with me, you don't have to." She was trying to spare me the embarrassment. So I didn't stand with her, I went off and looked at a toy or something. I remember looking back at her, she was sheepishly fixing her hair and trying not to look poor, as she worked up the courage to face the cashier. I have regretted walking away so many times over the years. I was just a kid, but I wish I could go back in time to go stand next to her and tell her how proud I am to be her son and how thankful I was for the sacrifices she made just to keep food on the table for us. It honestly breaks my heart every time I think about it.
Not protecting my hearing. I'm 52 and have had tinnitus for 20 years now. I should have worn earplugs when mowing the grass, going to concerts or loud movies. I shouldn't have turned my Walkman up to 11.
Becoming a nicotine addict. Cigarettes almost killed me twice in 1 year, when I was 34.
Drugs and drinking all day.
I regret and don't regret this one. I was 13 at a theme park with my class. It was our last day of school, so we went to a big park to ride some rides. For no particular reason, other than thinking I was funny, I kept telling kids in my class, "Don't die," as they would climb onto a roller coaster. Some kids looked scared, some laughed. Finally, a 20-something guy with his girlfriend also in line turned to me and shouted, "Kid, shut the beep up." His girlfriend quickly tried to calm him down and said, "He's just a kid." Boy, did he look pissed. For me, it was like I had been slapped out of a trance. I thought, holy beep, I am annoying. Best thing to ever happen to me, I think. But damn, do I cringe when I think about it.
This may sound odd, but saying yes over and over again to everything my parents want. It's really hard for me now to say what I really want because I was always like, "Yeah, sure, Mom. And Dad, I'll do that so you are happy," instead of doing what made me happy. Edit. I know edits suck, but I feel less bad now. Thank you, everyone. I guess we all need to go our own ways and sometimes say no.
Sending a picture of myself in a bra to some dickhead on the internet when I was 16.
Staying up late like RN and beep myself that tomorrow I will sleep early like I said yesterday.
Never committing to a healthy relationship with food. Now I have snowballed a full-blown eating disorder and everything I eat makes me feel guilty.
Wasting my time on toxic friendships. Never again. I also regret not ending my first relationship when I first wanted to, after year 1 instead of year 8.
Not purchasing a home I wanted when it was less expensive. Getting married, my career choice, basically, almost all the important decisions one makes in life.
Had a lump on my neck that ignored for a year. Ended up being stage 4 cancer. 13 years later in 4x battle, I'm still fighting. Edit. I love you all for the immense love you have showed for this stranger. I promise you that I'm okay and undergoing a immunotherapy that is easy as silk. I've been through hell, but I'm here, strong and defiant. Thanks to love from strangers like you.
Staying in the waiting room while my kitty was euthanized.
Marrying the wrong person. Be sure you really know who you are marrying. The family. The friends. The acquaintances. When they're angry, sad, happy. How they spend money. How they save money. Because you could end up like me, 31 years unhappily married. And we have a special needs daughter who needs us together in the same house for reasons I can't go into here. So I'm locked in, and so is she. Learn from my mistake.
Sharing health issues or personal issues with workmates.
Not spending a lot of time with my dad. He died when I was 18 and before that I was too cool to hang out with him much. I regret it so much now. He technically died from kidney failure after 20 plus years with a heart transplant. I ended up needing a heart transplant 2 years after he died and had no one that could relate to what I was going through. Because he was gone, and I never talked much about his transplant with him. He also never even came to my high school graduation cause he was working, so he never really got to see me accomplish anything in life. I was just a stupid teen that was too cool to hang out with my dad, even though we did so much together when I was a kid. I miss him every day. Please spend time with your parents and loved ones, you never know how long they'll be there. Edit. Thank you for the awards. I am working my way through the responses, a lot have made me cry and have taken some time to answer. Thank you everyone for sharing your experiences.
Quit a college program for a girl. Just stopped showing. It wrecked my grades and took forever to complete my degree after.
Not listening to my doctor's warnings and not taking care of my diabetes from 15 to 25. Since March last year I have had an op to restore vision in my right eye, an op to do the same in my left, an op to reattach the retina in my left eye, and currently waiting to have another in my right eye to restore vision, and an op to remove the silicone oil that is currently holding the retina in my left eye in place. Was completely blind for 2 months and only now have a small amount of vision in my right eye. The left eye has just enough vision for me to walk around without hurting myself until the oil comes out. Listen to your doctors, kids.
Friend at school told me if I cut all my eyelashes off they would grow longer. They did not.
I regret not doing a fuller investigation of career options before going to college or making the effort it would have taken to change course mid-career. I just retired from a career that was satisfying but probably not my best match.
When someone reaches out to you as a friend and you shut them down to avoid intimacy.
Not spending enough time with my grandma. She died young at 60 from alcoholism.
About years 18 to 26 is all regret. I try to tell myself that if I hadn't lived those experiences, I wouldn't have met and married my husband, so going back to undo things if I could, would actually ruin the life I have now. Edit. I had no idea my post would resonate with so many. Thank you for the awards.
Not taking care of my teeth when I was younger.
As a college senior, I was an advisor to this suite of freshmen. 3 of them played these stupid pranks on 2 of them for the entire school year. It started as jokes but it ended up just being harassment. Both of the harassed suitemates transferred the next year. I tried to reason with the 3 pranksters harassers. But now, I regret not confronting them instead of trying to reason with them. At some point, if people are intentionally causing suffering, a harsh response is the correct response. I was just a dumb college 4th year, but I wish I had had the insight to do more.
I know this is a relatively small thing, but when I was around 10 I was on public transport with my dad one time. He said he'd like to read to me. Like the little beep I was at the time, not only did I focus on playing Lego Batman on my DS as he was reading to me, but I actually told him I was going to do that. The audacity. I've always been lucky that he was and still is the kind of guy who doesn't take the kind of stuff personally and was totally fine with this arrangement, but I just wish I gave his gesture anywhere near the respect it deserved. I rarely even looked at him as he read.
One afternoon I got mad at my mother. She had been prescribed an excess amount of narcotics. 90 days worth. For an addict like her, she'd finish that in maybe 2 days. I picked the prescription up and withheld it. Her doctor told me I was breaking the law, even though she was a known addict. I gave it back to her and refused to hang out that night. I'd go every night to sit with her and talk so she'd be doing something other than drugs or having beat people over. But I was pissed off. Next morning I was off. Nothing felt right. My grandmother and I stopped by to check on her. She was dead on the kitchen floor. Her friends came over and they started doing drugs. Heroin kits everywhere, weed all over the table, and that damn bottle of pills. Her neighbor said at 2 a.m. a bunch of people hightailed it out of there. She had OD'd and they didn't help her. They just ran. Why the beep didn't I just go over there that night? Still bothers me even though I know I could never stop her from being addicted. Edit. Thank you to everyone who replied. It really means a lot because when she died, my loss wasn't really acknowledged. I came from a small town in CA. There were other addicts but we always felt alone trying to help her. The community we belonged to was upper middle class. Most folks covered the addictions of their family members up very well. I'm aware of enabling behavior and I'm sure we did that many times. We just try to keep her from dying. It's a tough spot to be in when it's your loved one.
Not doing internships in the summers during law school. Instead, I went straight through and graduated in 27 months. It was a mistake that limited my ability to get a job after graduation.
When I was in 8th grade, I saw my 6th grade brother walking down the hallway towards me and body slammed him as hard as I could into the wall. He limped away, ducked into an empty classroom, and started crying. I wasn't a violent kid and was generally a pretty good big brother. Immediately afterwards I just felt so beep bad and had no idea why I did it. We're really close now, and I still apologize for it 15 plus years later. It honestly beep haunts me that I did something so unnecessary and cruel to my own brother.
Not take my brother's pleas seriously before he killed himself on heroin. Edit. Thanks for all the support. I didn't expect to have so many people reach out.
This will take some explaining. So there's this game I play in public places. It's called the Pat Johnson. Essentially, you go up to someone who looks nothing like you and tell them they look like Pat Johnson. When they ask who that is, you say, "I'm Pat Johnson." I did this to a random guy in a public bathroom, thinking I was only going to be in that town for a week. I eventually got a place here and became kind of friends with the guy the first spoke to, but he still thinks I'm called Pat Johnson. I have to pretend that's my name whenever I see him.
Getting my bachelor's in fine arts. I'm still paying for a degree I don't even use.
Dental hygiene. Had braces as a teen and neglected my teeth for the 20 years after except for yearly cleanings. Too many Mountain Dews and too many days of I'll just brush my teeth tomorrow turned into cavities and peeling enamel. You don't appreciate teeth not hurting until they are.
I'll go to conferences or collections of study sessions or something, and I'll be like, I'm going to go to X. Then, when X comes along, someone will ask me, so, you coming to X? And I'll be like, sorry, but I'm busy, when I'm probably doing nothing. I always regret it. They're always really interesting sessions with people I would have wanted to meet and learn from, and what did I accomplish from not going? Nothing.
Not following my guts post high school and falling for family's pressure.
I saw a film where the main character had a cool neck tattoo, so a week later I booked in to get something similar done. The tattoo artist was meant to be a professional, but it looks like he got lazy halfway through and really beep it up. So for the past 6 years I've been stuck with 16 rather large black square boxes on my neck, which look like the Cornish flag when I wear a shirt. Now I'm going through laser therapy to get it removed. Now I can tell you, I've had my leg ripped off in a motorcycle crash and my arm crushed in another. I had to be given IV ketamine by the doctors as I was in that much pain. Laser removal hurts so much more. I'm only 410 sessions in, it's clearing up nicely, but damn it hurts. The tattoo cost £90, the laser removal so far has cost £600. Edit. If you'd like to see it, Google Eric from Divergent. That's what it was meant to look like. The laser removal is worth all the pain and you can get creams that really do make it better. I've just not tried them.
Another one. Wasting 2 years studying for beep I hate and leaving with no useful qualifications. Regret I'll carry for the rest of my life, crying face.
Going straight to college after high school.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to subscribe to Upvote for the best quality content every day.